Have you ever felt like your mind is holding you hostage? At the exact moment the world is most silent? What if the loudest war you'll ever fight isn't with someone else, but with your own thoughts? And what if ancient wisdom held the blueprint to silence the chaos inside your head? Welcome to Stoic Bridge, the bridge between ancient wisdom and modern life, guiding you through life's storms with calm and resilience. It always starts the same way. You're lying in bed at some impossible hour, 2:47 a.m., 3:12, maybe even 4:59, wide awake but hollow inside. Not because of caffeine, not because you were scrolling too long, but because something deeper, darker has taken over. Your mind is turned into a haunted house, room after room echoing with memories you never invited in. That mistake you still wince at. That insult that lodged itself in your bones, that one moment you wish you could delete from time, but it keeps playing on loop, like an emotional punishment you didn't sign up for. Your chest tightens, your jaw locks, and just when you think the worst has passed, the thoughts multiply, swarming like shadows, feeding off your silence. You lie there motionless, wondering if you're slowly losing your grip on reality. But this isn't just overthinking. This is a silent war, a war where your mind turns against you, where your thoughts aren't just thoughts anymore. They're weapons, invisible, sharp, unrelenting. No one sees the battle. On the outside, you're still smiling at strangers. You still say, "I'm fine," when someone checks in. You still show up. You still work. You laugh at the right moments. But behind your eyes, something is breaking, and no one notices. You're not living. You're performing. You've perfected the art of looking okay while quietly collapsing. And the scariest part? Sometimes it's not even a huge event that sets it off. It's something small. A single glance, a comment with the wrong tone, a single what if that spirals out of control and hijacks your entire day. You try to brush it off, but it clings. You try to distract yourself, but it waits, lurking just behind the next quiet moment. You can't explain it without sounding like you're overreacting, so you don't. You carry it alone, chained to a storm no one else can see. Let's be honest. You've asked yourself this question before, probably more than once. Why does my own mind turn on me like this? Why do I keep nurturing the very thoughts that are breaking me down? Why can't I just stop? That's exactly when Stoicism arrives. Not with gentle whispers or spiritual slogans, but like a warrior crashing through the gates of your burning house. It doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door open, steps into the fire with you, and hands you a sword. This isn't about motivational posters or calm mantras. It's about soul armor, tested in battle, forged in suffering, and worn by those who stared into death and didn't flinch. Stoicism wasn't created for easy days. It was born for mental chaos. For 3 a.m. when your own mind tries to set itself on fire. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But what if what's destroying you is your own reaction? What if the most painful enemy you face isn't the world, but the reflection staring back at you? That's why this video exists. This isn't about repeating feel-good affirmations. We're not here to sprinkle glitter on wounds. We're diving into 5 raw, piercing Stoic principles. Principles that will shake your foundation, burn through the lies you've been feeding yourself, and teach you how to reclaim your inner ground. This is not therapy. It's war. It's a full mental reset. It's not healing with incense and gentle music. It's healing with fire. This is how you take your power back when your thoughts start digging your grave. So don't skip a moment. Because sometimes all it takes is one line, one shift in perspective, one single phrase to break the chain you've been dragging for years. One truth to remind you that you were never the victim of your mind. You were just never taught how to master it. If you've ever fought a silent battle no one else could see, this is for you. Like this video if it resonates. Share it with that one person who hides their struggle behind a smile. Subscribe, because this isn't just another video. This is your lifeline, and maybe, just maybe, you're finally ready to breathe again. Now, inhale like it's your first breath in years, and exhale every weight that was never yours to carry. Because now, we begin. Number 1, observe. Don't absorb. It begins quietly, so quietly you almost miss it. Like a drop of poison in clear water, a single thought slips into your mind. You're failing. They see right through you. You're not built for this. It doesn't shout. It whispers, slick and venomous. And before you even register what's happening, it's already coiled around your spine like barbed wire. Your breath shortens, your chest tightens, your mouth turns dry, and suddenly, it feels like your soul is locked in a cage of its own making. You react, you flinch, you surrender without realizing it. That one toxic thought has become your tyrant, and without even knowing, you hand it the crown. But there is another way, a stronger way. Not gentle, not poetic, relentless. The Stoic doesn't plead for peace or spiral into despair. He doesn't scream back at the thought. He doesn't beg for calm. He simply watches, silent, still, unblinking, like a wolf behind glass. Every nerve alert, but not a single movement wasted. Because he understands something most never do. The battlefield isn't out there in the world. It's in here. In the quiet corners of the mind where invisible wars are waged. The real enemy isn't outside circumstances, it's the venomous lie that says you are less, and the only way to win is to refuse to suffer for something that isn't even real. That's what Marcus Aurelius understood, not from the safety of a study, but while standing knee-deep in betrayal, blood, and rot. While the Roman Empire crumbled beneath his feet and daggers waited behind every smile, he looked his darkest thoughts straight in the eye and never blinked. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That wasn't philosophy, that was survival. His life was the storm, and he chose not to drown. So when that inner voice begins to claw its way up your throat, don't panic, don't argue, don't even flinch. Watch it, not as a victim, but as a god surveying a nuisance. That thought is not sacred. It is not truth. It's static, empty noise on the frequency of your soul. Meaningless unless you give it power. Let it echo. Let it crawl. Let it wither in the silence of your indifference, because you are not the noise. You are not the storm. You are the mountain the storm crashes against and breaks. See the thought. Don't cradle it. Don't fight it. Don't make it yours. Let it float like ash drifting through air, weightless, fading, harmless. You are not your thoughts. You are the one hearing them. You are the gatekeeper, the one who decides what stays and what gets thrown into the fire. So when the pressure builds and the world begins to close in, whisper this. This isn't me. This is a ghost, a flicker. I am the flame. And let it pass again and again until your mind finally learns the truth. You are not its prisoner. You are its warden. Most people feed their darkness by giving it attention. You'll starve it with silence. Most people wrestle with the noise. You'll let it destroy itself. And in that stillness, in that raw, holy silence, something ancient awakens within you. The unshakable, the untouchable, the part of you no pain, no heartbreak, no betrayal can bend. So don't chase the storm. Don't become it. Be the one who walks through fire and leaves behind the scent of wind. Observe. Don't absorb. And let the world wonder how you remain standing when the sky came crashing down. Number 2, interrupt the pattern. Move like your life depends on it. Sometimes the storm doesn't arrive with clouds, it strikes like a scream in the middle of the night. One moment you're sitting quietly, the next it hits you. A flood of thoughts, violent, intrusive, comes crawling through your skull like rats in a burning building. I'm not enough. It's too late. What's the point? You don't just hear them, you become them. Frozen, hollow-eyed, trapped. Like a passenger watching their own mind spiral into chaos, strapped into the seat of a crashing plane. But here's the truth no one tells you. Thoughts aren't made of air. They're not soft. They're not light. They're electric fire, raw, chemical storms surging through your nervous system. Every loop of negative thinking burns deeper, branding itself into your biology like molten iron. You might think it's just in your head, but it's not. It's in your blood, in your breath, in the way your jaw locks, your fists clench, your shoulders rise like shields, your chest hollows as if you're drowning in invisible water. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." But when that imagination becomes toxic, it morphs into your reality, and it consumes everything in its path. So what do you do when your mind begins its assault? You move. Not tomorrow, not when the mood shifts, not after your playlist gives you motivation. Now, the moment you feel the first spark of dread, move. Stand up like your soul is trying to escape through your skin. Slam your feet into the ground as if you're stamping out the fire raging in your skull. Swing your fists into the air like you're punching lies, every false belief you've ever been fed. Walk with urgency, like you're chasing your own damn name across a battlefield. Rip your shirt off if you need to. Shout, run. Let your muscles ignite. Let your blood roar. Let your breath explode like a war drum inside your ribcage, because this isn't exercise. This isn't therapy. This is war. This is rebellion. Your stillness, that's where fear thrives. Fear is bacteria, and your silence is its oxygen. But movement, it's the antidote. It's disruption, it's defiance, it injects chaos into the poison, it fractures the loop, it breaks the illusion. It's like striking a thunderbolt into a stagnant swamp of dark water, splitting it open, boiling away the filth. And no, this isn't about doing push-ups or logging steps. This is about saving your life. This is about reminding your body it was never built to be a coffin. It was built to rise, built to run, built to roar. You don't crawl out of darkness with gentle words and scented candles. You fight your way out with primal movement that shakes the walls of your weakness. Because your brain, it might lie. But your body remembers. It remembers fire. It remembers survival. It remembers what it means to fight back. So when the spiral begins, when that familiar weight starts to pull you under, don't sit still like prey. Don't wait for a miracle. Become the miracle. Stand, move, smash something if you need to. Tear through the fog of your mind with movement so powerful even your fear flinches. Because if your thoughts are a prison, then your movement is the jailbreak. And you're not the inmate. You're not even the fighter. You are the damn earthquake that swallows the entire cage. Now let's move forward into the next weapon of your mental arsenal. Number 3, speak to yourself like a warrior, not a victim. Picture this. The battlefield isn't always outside. It's often between your ears. The fiercest battles are the ones no one else sees. And the enemy, it's not a stranger. It's the voice in your own head, the one you wake up to, the one you fall asleep with. That voice that should be your ally, your compass, but too often becomes your executioner. Most people don't realize how brutal they are to themselves. Not their enemies, not the critics, themselves. At the first sign of failure, the moment life cracks just a little, the voice within doesn't offer guidance or comfort. It unsheathes a blade, and it doesn't strike once. It stabs over and over. You're pathetic. You'll never be whole again. No one cares. But here's the truth that changes everything. That voice, it was never yours to begin with. It's not truth. It's every unhealed wound speaking through your mouth. It's pain that's been programmed, rehearsed, repeated, until it starts to sound like your own reflection. But make no mistake, that voice is a lie, an illusion laced with venom, built to break you under pressure. And every time you repeat it, every time you whisper something cruel to yourself in the dark, you're feeding it. You're pouring fuel on a fire that's burning down your own foundation. Epictetus didn't mince words. He thundered through time with this command. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Not hope, not wonder. Say it, declare it, etch it into your identity. Because your mouth is not decoration. It is direction. It is destiny. And if your words drip with pity, your life will echo that pity back with painful precision. This isn't about fluffy affirmations. This is war. It's the battle between the part of you that wants to stay under the covers and the part that was born for legacy, for blood, for triumph. So speak like the warrior you are. Speak like a commander who's walked through flames and came back for more. Speak like you just clawed your way out of hell and have no time for weakness. When your mind says, "I'm not enough," you respond, "I'm under construction, and this pain is the hammer building my legend." When fear presses against your lungs and tries to suffocate your resolve, don't say, "I can't." Say, "Fear is my fuel, and I'm addicted to the climb." When judgment looms, don't shrink, don't cower, rise. Say, "I don't need their approval. I'm building my own redemption arc, and it starts now." Visualize the terrain inside you, scorched earth, smoke curling into your lungs, ash settling around your feet, and there you are, barefoot, bloodied but upright, voice trembling but rising. Every word you speak is either the sword that slices your future or the fire that ignites it. So choose the flame. Forget the soft, sugary lines. You don't need "I am enough." You need "I am rising through madness." I am the storm that breaks the brittle parts of me. I am fire, untouchable, terrifying, reborn. Write it, scream it, repeat it like it's the only lifeline left. Because maybe it is. This isn't self-love. This is self-rebellion. You've been lied to long enough by the voice that wears your face. Now it's time to rip the mic from its grip and speak like a warrior forged in chaos. Not because it's pretty. Not because it's easy, but because you're done kneeling to your own thoughts. The Stoics never waited for peace. They forged it through fire, through discipline, through silence that roared louder than any storm. You're not soft. You're not broken. You are the forge. You are the flame. And the moment your voice becomes your weapon, your enemies fade into irrelevance. Let the world scream. Let the past echo. You'll be too busy commanding thunder and building a kingdom out of your pain. Now let's take that voice you've reforged and aim it at the very root of your suffering. Number 4, accept, then attack. Some wounds don't bleed, they echo. You don't always see the damage, but you feel it, lingering, coiled inside you like smoke in your lungs. Negative thoughts aren't content with just knocking on the door of your peace. They slide in through the cracks, uninvited and invisible, and wrap around your ribs like chains dipped in ice. They whisper not just lies, but identities. And the cruelest part? They convince you that they're permanent, that you're broken by design, that you're a defective blueprint, that healing is a luxury reserved for people who haven't been shattered beyond recognition. So you run, not physically, but mentally. You escape into distraction. You scroll, you numb, you fake the smile that now feels like glass stretched too thin. You try to look okay, but every grin threatens to crack under the weight of everything you've buried alive. This is where Stoicism spits in the face of soft, sugar-coated self-help. It doesn't wrap you in warm words and hand you lavender-scented affirmations. It doesn't pat you on the back. No, it hands you a shovel and points you to the pit. Because real healing doesn't begin with comfort. It begins with confrontation. You want to heal? Don't turn away. Don't flinch. Look straight into the void and say, I see you. Now hand me the blade. Marcus Aurelius didn't gloss over pain. He didn't dress it up. He faced it with brutal clarity. He wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. In other words, pain enters through the body, but it stays because you let it. It camps in your mind, and you don't drive it out by pretending it isn't there. You confront it, you grab it by the throat and demand, why are you here? So when a thought ambushes you, I'm worthless, I'll never be enough, I ruin everything I touch, don't slap silence over your mouth. Don't disappear into another dopamine scroll. Stop, go still. Breathe like your lungs are swallowing fire and let that heat expose the root. Ask the question that terrifies most. Where did this come from? Not to pity yourself, but to hunt. Because no dark thought is random. It always traces back to something. A voice, a moment, a scar you never walked away from. And until you dig deep, until you rip that root from the very soil of your soul, it will keep blooming into thorns. You'll think you've healed, but you're just cutting the tips off a weed that keeps drinking from your spirit beneath the surface. Visualize this clearly. A garden overrun by black vines with thorns like needles. You can trim the leaves, spray the surface, even light a candle next to it. But nothing changes until you get on your knees, plunge your hands into the muck, and tear the root free with trembling breath and bleeding fists. That's not self-care, that's surgical war. And the moment you declare, I know where this voice came from, I know why it's here, but it no longer gets to speak for me. That's the moment the spell breaks. The loop collapses. The poison loses its power because now it's not a random thought anymore. It's an enemy exposed. And acknowledgement is no longer weakness, it's ignition. It's the spark that sets the healing fire. True transformation doesn't begin by pretending you're untouched. It begins when you press your fingers into the wound and whisper, now I rebuild. And that's the essence of Stoicism. It was never about smiling through hell. It's about walking straight into it, eyes wide open, fists clenched, heart beating like war drums, and screaming from your core, I will not be ruled by ghosts anymore. You want real power? Then stop hiding the shadows, drag your demons into the daylight, look them in the eye, and bury their roots with your own two hands. Now breathe, because the final weapon is waiting. Number 5, create a sacred morning ritual of mental clarity. Mornings were once quiet, now they feel like ambushes. Before your eyes even adjust to the light, you're already under siege, not by noise you chose, but by the chaos of others. Your hand reaches for the phone before your feet even find the floor. It's a reflex, a silent surrender, and with one scroll, your peace is gone. 10 opinions, 5 lies, 3 filtered bodies, 1 wave of anxiety. And you wonder why your thoughts are scrambled, why your stomach tightens before your first breath, why your soul already feels hijacked by people you've never met and voices you never invited. It's not because you started the day wrong, it's because you didn't start it at all. The world did. You didn't rise, you got robbed. But the Stoics, they didn't treat mornings like a convenience, they treated them like consecration. That first hour of the day wasn't optional. It was sacred. It wasn't for multitasking or inboxes. It was war. It was ritual. It was the last untouched space between the self and the storm. That hour, before emails, before news, before voices sink their claws into your spine, that's not a routine. That's your sanctuary. That's your private forge. That's the one moment you get to remember who the hell you are before the world tries to tell you otherwise. You're not supposed to ease into the day. You're supposed to arm yourself, because the moment you open your eyes, the siege begins. Seneca didn't write about morning playlists or journaling prompts. He didn't post soft sunrise quotes. He said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." You want proof of your power? Then stop handing the world your mind on a silver platter before sunrise. That first hour isn't comfort. It's rebellion. It's a vow to yourself. It's a blood oath of silence and clarity. If you treat it like a joke, the world will treat your focus like a playground. But if you treat it like armor, you become untouchable. Wake before the noise, before the algorithms seduce you, before the wolves start howling. Sit with your breath, not casually, but like you're taming a wild animal. Feel it. Let it burn through your ribs. Let it remind you, you're alive. You're still here. They didn't break you. And that means you have one more shot today to carve your name into the marrow of this life. Now write, but not some fluffy gratitude list. Write the raw truth. I survived. I'm still breathing. They tried, but I'm still here. Say it out loud, from the chest, not the throat. Let it rumble, let it burn, then reflect on one Stoic phrase, just one. But choose one that cuts like a blade, something that stabs your weakness straight through the throat. I cannot control the storm, but I command the ship. Say it like it's tattooed on your spine. Say it like it's the only sentence that separates you from collapse. Now visualize the battlefield. Picture your day as a war map soaked in blood and strategy. You already know what's coming: temptation, noise, judgment, distraction, failure. So don't pretend. Rehearse it like a soldier rehearses death. See the enemy, then see yourself. Calm, precise, unbothered. Because while the world slept, you built peace in the fire. Your mind is a blade. That first 30 minutes, that's the forge. You don't just wake up, you sharpen. Every breath is hammer and flame. Every moment wasted is a crack in the sword you'll need to carry all day. Yes, negativity will still come. But if your morning is sacred, it won't infect you. Because you built your immune system before the virus arrived. You won't react, you'll respond. Not with panic, but with presence. Not with fear, but with fire. You don't need calm music. You don't need candles or cute rituals. You need one thing: a ruthless reminder of who you are. You are not a servant to chaos. You are the high priest of your own discipline. And this sacred morning is your altar. Build it like it's the last wall standing between you and madness. Because that's what sacred means: non-negotiable, untouchable, unbreakable. And if you can't even give yourself 30 minutes of sovereignty before the world begins barking orders, then what part of your soul is still yours? This is your time, your fire ritual, your daily resurrection. If the world wants your attention, make it earn it, because now you remember who you are, and no ping, post, or headline is louder than that. Your mind was never the enemy. It simply became wild because no one ever taught you how to train it. Left unchecked, it doesn't sit quietly in the background. It roars, it twists your memories into weapons, it poisons your peace, it distorts reality and haunts you with illusions that were never yours to carry. But here's the truth you needed all along. You were never built to be a prisoner of your own mind. You were built to command it. You were built to stand face to face with your darkest fears and say, "Not today." You don't run from the voices, you rewrite them. You don't shrink in silence, you shape it. Stoicism isn't some ancient scroll gathering dust. It's not a philosophy for calm afternoons, it's war paint for the soul. It's the steel in your spine when life tries to break you. It's the fire that flickers in the eyes of the man who's been betrayed, beaten, humiliated, yet still rises, not because the world owes him anything, but because he owes everything to himself. He doesn't wait for peace. He builds it. With blood, with breath, with brutal self-truth. In this video, you've been handed weapons. You've learned how to quiet the noise without silencing your essence. You've learned how to hunt down every lie and trace it back to the root, tearing it out without mercy. You've walked through sacred rituals, morning forges where real power is hammered and shaped. And now you know the truth. Power doesn't live in how loud you speak to the world. It lives in what you scream to yourself when no one's watching. So don't just nod along. Don't just let this moment pass. Act. Let these words bury themselves in your routine. Let them burn through your excuses. Let them rise with you in the morning and whisper through your breath at night. Let them shape your backbone into iron and your gaze into fire. Because the man who owns his thoughts owns his life, and the one who hesitates dies in the echo of everything he could have been. Let's pause for a moment and remember what you've unlocked. The ability to observe your thoughts without becoming them. The power of movement to smash the cycle of mental paralysis. The voice of a warrior, not a victim. The courage to dig deep and confront the roots. And the sacred silence of the morning where all strength is born. If this video lit something inside you, like it. If you know someone stuck in a war with their mind, share it. If you're ready to stop surviving and start building, subscribe. Hit the bell. Because here at Stoic Bridge, we don't beg for peace. We become the storm, and we walk through hell without flinching. And when the chaos rises inside you again, just remember, you are louder, you are stronger, you are the storm. And now, the war begins.